No matter what heating and cooling service you need at LCS Heating and Cooling, every call has one purpose.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Your comfort, our mission.
Your comfort, our mission. Your comfort, our mission.
From the first call to the final walkthrough, that mission guides everything we do. Visit lcsheatingandcooling.com.
Outside the Forecast on WTHR Plus is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.
Hey everyone, this is 13 Weather Meteorologist Sean Ash. We appreciate you tuning in to this week's edition of Outside the Forecast. I am a snow lover and we are going to look back at one heck of a winter storm. We're talking about January 24th, 25th of 2026. This was lived up to the billing as we were expecting going into this event here. These are some of the scenes around the metro area, just some big time snow that made travel very difficult. One of the few times that you're going to see the majority of the state under a travel warning, and that's what we had by the evening of January 25th. And some of the hardest hit areas were in the central and southern part of the state, but snowfall covered up a good portion of Indiana in some degree. Now, I want to show you what it was looking like in Columbus. They had some of the highest snow totals with this particular storm, trying to shove away over a foot. And so again, this was a real deal winter storm that we haven't seen since 2014. And the National Weather Service in Indianapolis suggests that the return rate of a storm like this is about once every 12 years. So we were certainly due. I want to show you the scope of the storm too, because going into this, I was trying to think about a storm, anything compared to this. This is the snow swath that started from basically the Rockies, Front Range of the Rockies, all the way up into New England. So the heavy snow footprint with this was just massive, from west to east, but also north to south. I mean, there was a lot of the country that got over 6 to 7 inches of snowfall here in this heavy band. In addition to that, and unfortunate, but we had quite an ice storm on the southern end of this. In fact, even over 2 weeks after the storm, we still have some locations in Mississippi that are without power, where we had some ice accretion reports nearly an inch. So it was, again, the scope of this in terms of impacts, very significant. This storm will definitely go in the record books, not only locally, but again, over a good portion of the U.S. Some of the snow reports, and I mentioned everybody in the state got some snow. I mean, even Monticello, just over 5 inches, that's a good snowfall. Grissom Air Force Base checked in with 7. We had about 11 inches there in Tipton, near that in Lebanon, almost a foot in Richmond. And then speaking of a foot, we had many areas just south of I-70 that had a solid 12 to 14 inches. That includes Greenwood and Shelbyville, Edinburgh, Columbus almost 15 inches. Batesville, nearly 17 inches, Versailles, Seymour, 14 inches. Now, the official number at the National Weather Service office in Indianapolis was 11.1 inches, and that came over a 2-day period. We had 2 inches on the 24th, and we had the 9.1. As of right now, our season total is 28. We'll get more in the season total here in a bit. I want to dive into that 2-day total. These are the biggest 2-day storms on record. Our records for Indianapolis go back to 1871, and you can see where the 24th and 25th of this year fell. So one of about a dozen or so storms with snowfall that big over a 2-day period, and the biggest, as I mentioned, that we've had since 2014. Now, the 2014, if you remember that, the cold with it was much harsher. We had wind chills 30, 40 below, but the cold with this was very impressive as well. and kept that snowpack around. We get into the 25th because that was, that also goes in the books. One of our snowiest days on record at 9.1. You have to go back to March of 2018 where we had a 10-incher. Now we don't get, climatologically speaking, Indianapolis, this is the list. This is the list of 10-inch plus snowfall days. Okay, they don't happen too often. So any way you slice it, this was a hefty snowstorm. As of the 10th, this is what the snowpack looked like. Now we're finally going to eat into this deep snow as this warming trend and the thaw is beginning to kick in. But we had such a cold spell that followed it. Maybe again, not as harsh that we had back there in 2014, but it produced our longest, deepest snowpack, and by deep we're using 4 inches the gauge there. We had 16 straight days with a 4-inch snowpack. That's the longest, deepest stretch since 2010. Now it doesn't come anywhere near what we had in the wake of the blizzard of 1978, or you see those stretch runs that we had there in 77, well 79, but very notable. So we're finally going to shed away and start eating in to that snowpack. But impressive numbers. So I want to look into the seasonal totals now across the region. And for a change, we are actually above average for a winter season. We haven't said that in quite a while. So we're almost at 28 inches officially. Well, you can just see that it has been one stellar season so far for the Great Lakes. Nearly 77 inches there in Buffalo, almost 100 in Muskegon, and look at those big numbers there. Marquette, Sault Ste. Marie, well over 100 inches of snowfall. To put that into perspective, in terms of seasonal snowfall departure, so we're almost 10 inches above, 50 plus above to date there in Sault Ste. Marie and Marquette. So some impressive numbers. On the flip side of that snow coin, Salt Lake City to date is 36 inches below. They haven't even had an inch of snowfall in Salt Lake City. So some wild stuff here. You can see where the snow track has been. You can see that we've had some snow pretty far south too, and even had a big storm along the East Coast. So that's where the winter stands so far. Here's the snowfall comparison. You see Marquette there, there's Indy, and there's those staggering numbers again from Salt Lake City. So an average season for us total is 26 inches. So we're already at 28. You have to go way back. And there's that big brutal winter of 2013 and 2014. So we were definitely due here. Now I mentioned the cold, the persistent cold that followed. So we go back to January, and you can see that first half of January well above average, and then we got into the cold front that delivered the cold. Another impressive thing with this storm. So there's the 24th. Our high was 11, and on the 25th, during the bulk of the snow, the heaviest snow, we were in the teens. So sometimes, it's pretty impressive to be that cold and to get snow that deep, and you can see what happened in its wake in terms of daytime highs. In fact, we had a heck of a stretch run. It took us until the 9th of February to go above 35 degrees. And that streak of 18 days at or below 35 is notable, longest we've had since 2015. And that's why that snow lasted so long. Now we're beginning to flip the coin here in terms of temperatures. And we have finally had our warmest temperatures and made it into the 50s to near 60 degrees for the first time since early January. And as we look ahead into the coming week here, February 16th, all indications are of well above average temperatures by some 20 to 30 degrees. So it's looking very likely by the time we get to mid-month here that snow that we had from that big winter storm likely is going to be long gone, and we could be staring down some 60-degree days. And the problem this time of year, you get that warm, we may actually be focusing eventually on some thunderstorm potential down the pike. So something that we'll keep in mind. Now, we also know we still have a lot of winter left, and we can get some big storms going in to March, and sometimes we can get some snow into April. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes after this. Sometimes we have to pay a price for these warm-ups in February. So that's our look back here at the big storm just a few weeks ago. We will keep you posted, and stay with us here on WTHR Plus for more to come.
Outside the Forecast on WTHR Plus is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.